What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for rocking with me. I appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far. Remember, love on somebody. Quick tip to my fellas. You got a wife, girlfriend, y'all stay together, live together. When she walk by you today, if you haven't patted her on the booty in a while, just give her a soft pat up under the fat part of the rump. Don't hit her so hard that you knock her. Cause see, sometimes we'll do stuff like that, and then when she get mad, we'll play stupid, act like, well, I can't never do nothing to you because you always have an attitude. Do not punch your wife in the behind and send her flying into the coffee table. Pat her a little aggressive, little pop up under the fat part, and just tell her, hey girl, pop, I miss you, I love you. That's it. Moving on. I'm a part of the male men, whatever you want to call it, divorce community. So obviously, I get to hear or have access to the things that men say, how we feel, the complaints that we have, the barbershop talk, the red pill on social media, the red pill everywhere. Everybody got something to say, right? You go through a divorce. On one side, the male is talking about the female, on the other side, the female is talking about the male, and we go back and forth. I like to, as much as I am what I am, I still like to be accountable and be able to hear both sides and at least be honest, whether we like it or not. Sometimes we just have to be honest with the way things were and why it became that way. We have to be honest. So one of the things even I have talked about and will continue to talk about, because in many areas that is true, but then I want to kind of dissect it a little further in this situation. One of the things that men have said is that sometimes a man will, or the wife will come home and say, I want a divorce. And then the man acts all surprised, like he didn't see it coming. And then after the divorce process takes place and the property is split and the money's gone and the children are set up on a new schedule and time and child support is coming out, he can easily run to the male crew and say, "Oh, she just changed, and I did all these things, and I paid the mortgage for 20 years, and out of nowhere, she just woke up and told me she wanted a divorce." And of course, none of us was in the home to be able to verify or say that it's not true. It's true. Nobody was there, so we have to take pretty much the word for what they're saying. And then, of course, I'm sure women have, women. They may just say men cheat, men cheat, men cheat. They don't tell their part, right? Everybody's doing something. Nobody's there to prove otherwise. But that's one of the things that I've heard a lot. She changed out the blue. She changed out the blue, out of nowhere. She changed. So I want to talk about maybe a topic or two. Well, not a topic or two, but I want to talk about a subtopic about women changing, right? They say that women evolve mentally, emotionally. They're evolving. So if you are married and your wife for years, let's just say, is dealing with you and you are not showing her appreciation. When y'all first got married, you were showing her appreciation. Everything was happy go lucky. When y'all first got married, everything was green beans and rice or whatever you like, yams and turkey. Bacon and eggs. When you first got married, everything was Popeyes, chicken, and sweet tea. Whatever you like. Everything was chitlins, hot sauce, and vinegar. Or to my Asian people, everything was kimchi. Whatever you like, I ain't hating on nobody. To my Latino community, everything was Tamales. That's the way it was. Great relationship. And then the man, who now we have to take responsibility for our part, begins to not show appreciation to his wife. She don't say anything. Years go by. She don't say nothing. Emotional stress on her psyche because of y'all relationship. Years go by. She don't say nothing. Because she's not saying anything, we equate that she is still normal, the way she was when we met her, the way she was when we got married to her. She's under a load emotionally. She's under a load stress. Maybe the burden of children now is on her. Maybe she feels she's not getting the help that she would like from her husband. Maybe she has voiced it and it hasn't done any different. So she said within herself, I'll just do what I have to do. Not to not love him, but in order to take care of the kids. I just got to put my nose to the grind, be a mother, be a wife, be a student, whatever it is that she's doing. And she's evolving here. She's changing. We don't see it because she may not be verbalizing it, but she's changing. She's shifting. It ain't something she's doing on purpose. It ain't something she's doing intentionally, but she's shifting. And then one day, seemingly out the blue, she says something like, I don't love you anymore. I don't want to be a part of this marriage anymore. I don't want to be your wife anymore. And as men, we will say, she changed. Where did that come from? Seemed like it came out the blue. But the whole while, she was already changing because of what she felt in the last years of y'all marriage and y'all relationship. And as men, sometimes we will miss the signs because she's not verbalizing it on a daily basis. We're going to act like everything is okay because she's not saying anything. And we don't realize that women's foundation and base is emotions. And once her emotions gets rocked, she is going to change. If she feels unappreciated in a marriage, she is going to change. See, if you one of those that said, my wife, out of nowhere, I found out she was, and I'm not condoning cheating, this is what I'm saying. I know I found out she was with another man. She done fell in love with another man. And you don't take responsibility for the fact, because see, when you go out there and you come online, you come on YouTube, Facebook, you can tell the story any kind of way you want to tell it. But I've been there. See, certain people that's been there and been, I was married for 20 years. Certain people that's been there and been there even longer, we already know the telltale signs, as they say, the telltale signs, we already know what to look for. So when you say you had a good woman when you got married, then all of a sudden she fell in love with another man, ask yourself, how many times did she tell you from years ago that I am unhappy, you're not meeting the expectations that I thought this marriage was going to bring to the table. I got this stress, this burden on my plate, and you don't seem like you want to do anything about it. I feel unappreciated in this relationship. How you got to ask yourself, go back and say, how many times did she tell me, I feel like you don't appreciate me? I feel like you don't value me. I feel like you just want to use me for sex. I feel like you just want to use my body, but I don't feel that you really appreciate and value me as a woman. And then we want to smooth talk it and try to gloss it over. But she said what she said, and we don't pay no attention to it, and we don't realize the whole time she's changing. And then when she finally makes up her mind that she's gonna get out of that relationship, get out of that marriage, because she's not gonna spend the rest of her life living like that, acting like that, then we say, what in the world just happened? Out the blue, she changed. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what a woman will do. I've been there. I've been there in a marriage where the first 5 years was halfway decent, and the next 15 years resentment was building in because of our religious beliefs. At least at the time, we did not pursue a divorce when we probably should have, and we stayed together without necessarily working it out, and resentment on her part kicked in. So I've been there. I know the signs. I know what it looks like. And by the time she say I'm done, we look around like, what in the world happened? She no longer is going to pretend. Once the years of feeling unappreciated kick in, once that time go by, sooner or later she gonna take the mask off. And the way that she speak to you when the mask come off is going to tell the man she's different than what she was, when the reality is she was changing the whole time. But for you, she chose to wear a mask, but now she's at a place where she knows she no longer want to deal with you, so she don't have to wear the mask no more, because you don't mean enough to her for her to continue to pretend in her life when she wants to be free and enjoy the rest of her life. So the mask comes off and she speaks to you any way she want to speak to you, pretty much. I mean, she may not be derogatory or anything like that in what she's saying in her words, but her tone towards you is letting you know for sure, I'm not into you anymore. And as men, we look at it and say, what in the world just happened? She changed on me. She didn't change on you overnight. She's been changing on you over the years, but you fail to realize it because as men, we don't want to pay attention to the signs. We don't want to see it for what it is. We don't want to hear what she's saying, because if we not built a certain way, we know we're not going to do anything to change it, so we just ignore it. She's going to stop talking about it. Yeah, we're going to ignore it and hope that it goes away, and it will go away. She's going to stop talking about it. She's not going to tell you. She's not going to say anything else about it. Just know she's changing. Just know she's evolving. Just know she's putting a plan together. Just know she's coming up with an exit strategy. And when she get to the point where she's not going to take any more, and she takes the mask off, and she stops pretending, and she stops looking out for your feelings, that's when as men, we look at it and say, what happened? She changed on me. No, she didn't change overnight. She been changing. We just failed to see it. And we have to take accountability for the part that we played in that evolving, in her changing. So we gotta come online on social media. We got to be honest. She didn't just wake up one day and say that. Not some situations, I'm sure. Some situations, I'm sure, there was a cuckoo bird and she woke up and just decided, I want out for. I get everything gonna come with one situation or another. I do understand that everybody's not gonna fall into what I'm saying, but I believe those cases are gonna be the minority cases. Women that have children and families and everything is set up, they don't just wake up one day and say, I want to just leave and tear everything up and hurt my children. Not good women. I'm not good women. Now you marry some scraps from off the street, you got to take responsibility for your decision on that. So we're not talking about scraps off the street. We're not talking about that. We ain't talking about moldy bread that was thrown out the window and you decided to marry. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a good woman that you knew was good, felt was good, you loved, you appreciated out the gate, and years later, she took the mask off because she was tired of being under the pressure of emotional labor, abuse, resentment, feeling unappreciated, talking about it, arguing about it, and you may not even be the worst man. It's not that you was doing anything extremely bad. It's just that these things was never fixed. And her emotions never smoothed over like you wanted it to. And so she evolved. And in her evolving, it caused her to fall out of love with you. She took the mask off. She stopped pretending. She told you the truth, and then you look at her and say, I can't believe I married this woman 15 years ago. Oh my God, who are you? It's the same woman that you married, that you didn't pay attention to, that you left just doing whatever. You didn't take no time to invest in her emotions and her thoughts, her feelings, try to come help her out. You made her feel like a piece of meat, like you only needed her for sex. You didn't want to help out with the kids. You didn't want to help out around the house. All these things that's going on in her mind, to finally she reached a point where she said, I no longer want to do it, and I'm no longer going to be fake about it. And she tell you how she felt, and then you get the letter in the mail, or you get served saying it's time you got to show up to court because your wife wants a divorce. Women don't just change overnight. They evolve in time based on how they're being treated. And as men, we have to take accountability and responsibility for that. They don't change overnight like we try to make it seem like. We had a part to play in it. Y'all men, y'all got that? Do you have it? So you get a divorce, don't run to the barbershop talking about this wicked woman that you married unless she really was wicked. But when you tell the story, make sure you tell both sides. I neglected my wife the first 6 years. I did my part. The last 8 years, I neglected my wife. I did not care and was not concerned about what she was feeling and what she was going through. I thought it went away. I thought it was going away. I thought because she stopped talking about it that it had resolved itself, and I thought we was good. I did not realize that she had evolved into another person that I do not recognize now, and she wants to have nothing to do with me. Got it? Good.